Your name may not appear down here in this world's Hall of Fame. In fact, you may be so unknown that no one knows your name. The Oscars and the praise of men may never come your way. But don't forget, God has rewards He'll hand out someday. This crowd on earth, they will soon forget when you're not at the top.
As far as having a New Year's resolution, I'd love to have a child next year. Great to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The fact that Brittany Murphy died so young and died with people in the house who were supposed to be looking out for her, it really got people wondering, how could this have happened? And people just were never satisfied with any of the answers that came out officially because it made no sense.
That sentence was only 7 words, but if you know who said it and what it cost him, it hits completely different. A father who never stopped digging for answers, a whistleblower claiming she heard the call, and Jim Caviezel breaking down on camera while talking about Brittany Murphy's death. Now people are connecting dots in a whole new way. Brittany Murphy's story wasn't just about getting sick, at least according to these claims. Some believe she was pulled into dangerous situations, manipulated, and later pushed into silence while a powerful man stayed in the spotlight for years. One thing about Jim Caviezel, he doesn't speak lightly. His career took major hits after he kept speaking out. He was mocked, ignored, and pushed aside. But he never stopped talking. And now his emotional reaction while discussing Brittany Murphy has people paying attention again. People aren't just questioning Brittany Murphy's death anymore. They're questioning what allegedly happened before it.
At the end, I was asking about the movie, and I asked them about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out Epstein Island. And they went, oh, okay. Now I understand what we're up against.
Wow.
Epstein Island isn't the only island out there.
Stories about private islands, hidden networks, and powerful people who never faced consequences are now getting dragged back into the spotlight. But to understand why Jim Caviezel got emotional, you have to look at how this whole situation supposedly started. The story circles back to Ashton Kutcher. Born Christopher Ashton Kutcher in Iowa, he came from a regular working-class background with 0 Hollywood connections. Then one chance moment changed everything. He got discovered in the late 90s, stepped into modeling, worked with Calvin Klein, and later became connected to Abercrombie & Fitch. Now this is where people really start paying attention. Abercrombie & Fitch was owned by billionaire Les Wexner, the same businessman heavily linked to Jeffrey Epstein for years. Wexner gave Epstein massive control over parts of his empire, including the Manhattan mansion that later became infamous. Nobody is saying Ashton Kutcher committed crimes just because of those connections. But critics argue Hollywood works through access and influence, and the people you meet behind certain doors can completely shape your future. The next major step for Ashton Kutcher was that 70s show in 1998, and it changed everything fast. That show brought him fame, money, and 2 relationships that stayed tied to his name for years. One was Mila Kunis, who later became his wife. The other was Danny Masterson. Kutcher publicly called Masterson a mentor and an older brother figure. That became a huge issue later when Masterson faced serious criminal charges. After women gave emotional testimony in court, Kutcher and Kunis sent letters asking the judge for leniency, and the backlash exploded online. The apology video that followed didn't calm people down either. Critics kept asking why Kutcher supported Masterson after accusations had already been circulating in Hollywood for years. Others questioned how someone publicly involved in anti-exploitation campaigns could still defend a longtime friend facing those kinds of convictions. February 21, 2001 changed everything. Ashton Kutcher was supposed to meet Ashley Ellerin that night for a date. Later, he testified that he went to her apartment, knocked, got no answer, saw what he believed was spilled red wine through the window, and left. But Ashley had actually been brutally killed inside the apartment. The case shocked Hollywood for years. Kutcher later explained he thought she had gone out without him, so he left the scene. Reports and testimony from the case also revealed he contacted people close to him afterward, including Danny Masterson and his publicist, before police became involved. That detail has fueled non-stop debate online ever since. Jim Caviezel later publicly questioned parts of Kutcher's account, claiming he believed statements from that night were not truthful. Those comments added even more attention because they came from a well-known public figure, not anonymous internet rumors. Chrissy Carnell-Bixler also blasted Kutcher publicly, accusing him of protecting people around him and calling Danny Masterson his mentor. That word alone reignited major criticism online. And according to people following these claims, this was only the beginning of a much darker story. Critics online kept pointing to what they saw as a troubling pattern around Ashton Kutcher's connections. People brought up his ties to major Hollywood figures, his support for Danny Masterson, and the controversy surrounding the Ashley Ellerin case. Supporters argued none of that proves criminal behavior, while others believed the repeated connections raised serious questions. Then the focus shifted to Brittany Murphy. She was only 32 years old and had become one of Hollywood's biggest stars through movies like Clueless, 8 Mile, and Just Married, where she starred alongside Kutcher while they were dating. After their relationship ended, fans noticed her career suddenly slowed down. Rumors spread for years about why such a talented actress seemed pushed to the sidelines despite her popularity and strong performances. In December 2009, tragedy struck. Brittany Murphy collapsed in her bathroom and later died.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Oh, somebody's passed out.
Somebody what?
My daughter's passed out.
The official cause was ruled as pneumonia, anemia, and medication-related factors. Then another shocking twist followed. Her husband, Simon Monjack, died in the same house only months later, creating even more mystery and non-stop speculation around the case.
You know who Brittany Murphy is? Brittany Murphy was an actress, and she was involved with Ashton Kutcher. Brittany Murphy died of pneumonia, and they said that it's something in, I think, rat poison, that gives you signs of pneumonia. Then her husband died of the same thing. Now, Kim Porter died of pneumonia. Guess who did the autopsy report of all those individuals? Ed Wright. What is he, the Grand Reaper of the stars? Anytime one of the stars died, he come in there and said it was pneumonia?
Brittany Murphy and her husband, Simon Monjack, both died in the same house just months apart, and both deaths were linked to pneumonia-related causes. That alone sparked huge public suspicion. Brittany's father, Angelo Bertolotti, refused to accept the official explanation and spent years demanding more answers. He later ordered independent testing on Brittany's hair samples and claimed the results showed unusual heavy metal traces. Bertolotti publicly suggested his daughter may have been targeted, and he openly questioned powerful people in Hollywood. Online discussions and conspiracy theories quickly exploded, with some even bringing up famous names connected to Brittany's past relationships. No criminal charges or official findings ever supported those claims, but the speculation never disappeared. Angelo kept speaking out until his death, convinced there was more to the story than the public had been told.
I think there's so many conspiracies around Brittany Murphy's death because it is a mystery. Here's a woman that we watched rise to stardom, and she was in her 30s, and she's an incredibly talented actress. Why and how does that happen?
Now, Jim Caviezel has added even more controversy by discussing what he describes as hidden networks tied to powerful elites in entertainment and politics. Caviezel has claimed that places connected to exploitation and blackmail extended far beyond Jeffrey Epstein's circle, involving other locations and influential figures. Those allegations remain unproven, but they continue fueling major online debate and speculation. Jim Caviezel shocked people when he made those 7 words public, fully aware of the backlash that would follow.
They will cheer like mad until you fall, and their praise will stop not God. He never does forget, and in his hall of fame, by just believing on his son, forever there's your name. I tell you, friend, I wouldn't trade my name, however small. That's written there beyond the stars in that celestial hall. For all the famous names on earth, or the glory that they share, I'd rather be an unknown here and have my name up there.
Online communities tracking Epstein-related claims quickly connected his comments to allegations spreading across social media and forums. One alleged survivor account claimed Ashton Kutcher was more deeply connected to powerful circles than many people realized. The accusations described him not as a random celebrity at industry parties, but as someone who allegedly used his fame, charm, and connections to bring women into elite social spaces. These claims remain unverified, but they've fueled non-stop online speculation. The same allegations also pulled Brittany Murphy's name into the conversation. People began pointing at the timeline. After her relationship with Kutcher ended, her Hollywood career noticeably slowed down, and reports from people around her described personal struggles that fans felt didn't fully match the public story being told. At the center of these theories is the long-standing belief that Jeffrey Epstein secretly recorded influential people inside his properties. Multiple victims publicly stated they believed cameras and recording systems were everywhere. Investigators and journalists have also discussed claims involving possible blackmail material tied to powerful figures. Because of that, online discussions keep asking the same question. If damaging footage existed, who was being protected by it? And how far did those connections really go? Jim Caviezel became visibly emotional while discussing these claims, and that reaction caught a lot of attention online. For years, he stayed calm through criticism and career setbacks, but this time people noticed something different. According to Caviezel, once you start lining up the names, timelines, and relationships, the picture feels much more serious to him. Supporters of these theories often point to the connections between powerful entertainment figures like Ashton Kutcher, Diddy, Harvey Weinstein, Danny Masterson, Les Wexner, and Jeffrey Epstein. Critics argue these weren't isolated celebrity friendships, but overlapping social circles tied to influence, money, and protection inside Hollywood. They also claim powerful public relations teams, attorneys, and media connections helped shape public narratives whenever scandals exploded. None of these claims have been proven as part of one organized network, but the speculation has stayed intense for years. Kutcher's anti-exploitation organization, Thorn, became a major part of his public image and was often praised publicly. Because of that, critics say the contrast between his activism and later controversies surrounding people close to him raised even more questions online. Critics online kept pointing at Ashton Kutcher's connections to several controversial figures over the years. They mentioned his ties to Les Wexner, his public friendship with Diddy before the federal investigation, his support letters for Danny Masterson, and old photos with Harvey Weinstein. Supporters argue celebrity circles often overlap in Hollywood, while critics believe the pattern looks deeper than coincidence. When Jim Caviezel spoke emotionally about these topics, many viewers felt he believed he was exposing something much larger than celebrity drama. According to Caviezel's claims, he sees Hollywood as a system where influence, protection, and power worked behind the scenes for years. Then people started focusing on another disturbing detail. Brittany Murphy, Simon Monjack, and Kim Porter all reportedly died from pneumonia-related causes years apart. Online discussions quickly tied those cases together because of overlapping celebrity connections and rumors surrounding powerful entertainment figures. Kim Porter, the mother of Diddy's children, became a major topic in those theories after reports claimed she had planned to speak publicly about experiences connected to elite celebrity circles. Some reports also claimed she had been working on a memoir before her death, adding even more speculation and mystery online. The alleged memoir connected to Kim Porter has never publicly appeared in full, and that has fueled years of speculation online. At the same time, federal prosecutors later accused Sean Diddy Combs of running a criminal operation involving coercion and abuse, bringing even more attention back to older rumors surrounding people connected to his circle. Another detail people often point to is that several high-profile celebrity deaths, including Brittany Murphy's and Kim Porter's, were handled through the Los Angeles coroner's office during Ed Winter's time there. Some online theories treat that as suspicious, though experts note it's normal for the same office to oversee major Los Angeles cases. Still, questions never completely disappeared. Brittany Murphy's father spent years publicly claiming his daughter may have been poisoned and pushed for more investigation, insisting the official findings didn't add up to him. No evidence ever officially confirmed those accusations, but the debate stayed alive online. Now Jim Caviezel has intensified those conversations by claiming certain celebrities spent years hiding behind carefully managed public images. He has repeatedly suggested there's a larger pattern involving influence, secrecy, and protection inside elite Hollywood circles. Jim Caviezel and others pushing these theories insist they are seeing a pattern, not random coincidences. They point to overlapping celebrity connections, repeated controversies, and allegations involving powerful entertainment figures tied to the same social circles for years. One circulating survivor account connected to Epstein-related discussions claims Ashton Kutcher allegedly helped introduce women into elite environments using his celebrity status and public image. These accusations remain unverified, but supporters of the theory argue fame and trust made certain situations easier to hide. According to those claims, young actresses may have felt excited or honored by the attention before realizing the darker side of those circles. Meanwhile, public interest keeps growing as more Epstein-related documents are released and investigations tied to Sean Combs continue developing. Online communities believe those cases could expose even more information about powerful Hollywood relationships and long-hidden secrets. Through all of this, Brittany Murphy's father never stopped demanding answers. He publicly claimed toxicology findings raised concerns and spent years accusing Hollywood figures of hiding the truth about his daughter's death, even as officials rejected those accusations. Ashton Kutcher built his image around charm, influence, and constant reinvention. Over the years, he shifted from sitcom star to tech investor to activist, always adapting his public persona as his career evolved. Supporters saw him as smart and likable, while critics argue each new version helped distance him from past controversies. The biggest backlash came after Kutcher and Mila Kunis wrote letters supporting Danny Masterson before sentencing. In those letters, Kutcher described Masterson as a positive influence and role model, which sparked outrage after Masterson's conviction. People online also continue revisiting the Ashley Ellerin case, noting Kutcher was at her home shortly before her murder and later testified during the trial of the convicted killer. Critics have questioned details surrounding that night for years, especially the calls he reportedly made afterward to close associates. Others point to his longtime connections with figures like Diddy, Les Wexner, and people later tied to major scandals. Critics argue those repeated associations clash with the anti-exploitation work Kutcher publicly promoted through his organization Thorn, creating a gap between his public image and the controversies surrounding his circle. For years, critics say these stories were kept under control by powerful people, expensive lawyers, and carefully protected public images. But now, more cracks are starting to show. More witnesses are speaking, more documents are surfacing, and more people are questioning what was really happening behind Hollywood's biggest names. What's confirmed and what's speculation are still two different things, and that matters. But here's why the conversation keeps growing. An alleged Epstein survivor publicly connected Ashton Kutcher to these elite circles. Jim Caviezel openly claimed Kutcher was hiding behind a carefully crafted image. Chrissy Carnell-Bixler also said she was involved in key conversations connected to the Ashley Ellerin case. At the same time, the Epstein files continue unfolding, and investigations tied to Sean Combs are still developing. That's why people online believe more information could still come out in the future. Brittany Murphy's father spent his final years demanding answers, convinced there was more to his daughter's story than the public was told. And even now, those questions still haven't disappeared. If you made it this far, drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this with someone who needs to hear the full story.